From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Tuesday morning. We continue to track these snow showers that are just berating the Cascades. It looks like the rest of our area is dry for this morning, but we are going to see some more widespread showers and thunderstorms a little bit later today. Winds gusting out of the south and west already around 35 miles per hour up towards White Pass, 20 miles per hour for Blewett Pass. This is also going to become much more widespread throughout the course of today. Right now, temperatures down into the 20s and 30s in the Blues, 30s up in the Cascades, 30s for the Kittitas and Yakima Valleys, and we're mostly in the 40s in the lower Columbia Basin. So if it was a little frosty for this morning, that would either be in the Blues or up in the Cascades. We're cutting it pretty close to freezing in the Kittitas Valley as well. Here's your umbrella cast for today for the Tri-Cities. You see shower chances going to pick up mainly around and after lunchtime. We'll kind of hold on to that until 8 p.m., 9 p.m. in the late evening. So for today, another seasonal day, another day where showers and thunderstorms are going to be likely. But after today, our forecast looks pretty dry and pretty mild with fluctuating high temperatures. I'll show you some of those fluctuations coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, Pasco marking a milestone in aviation history, what the city is known for doing before anyone else in the country, and how they're celebrating today. That's all coming up.
Also an aviation mishap after a small plane lands in the water a few feet from the runway in Oregon. But we know about the incident so far.
Plus, time is running out to file your taxes. We have what you need to know to get them done before that deadline. It's all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jade Elliott. It is Tuesday, April 8th. And of course, as always, a lot of news to get to this morning. We want to start off your top stories with continuing coverage, actually. The Tri-Cities community came together to mourn the loss of 20-year-old Josier Sanchez. That's the motorcyclist who was killed after a crash involving off-duty Washington State Patrol Trooper Sarah Clayson.
Now, this memorial ride brought out a large crowd on Sunday. It began at 2:30 with people meeting up at the New Vintage Church in Tri-Cities. The route included several stops throughout the Tri-Cities area, eventually making a stop at the scene of the crash, which is near Parkway Village in Richland. Organizers planted a cross in memory of Yasser, and flowers were also planted by his parents. The family is in the process of making funeral arrangements, and they say more details will be shared in the coming days.
Well, just Monday afternoon, officers responded to the report of a man who was unconscious in a white Chevy Trailblazer on Sanford Avenue. And what they found out when they got there was that the rear plate was stolen. Well, when officers approached that car, the suspect woke up, fled, started driving over sticks. After a dangerous chase through red lights, authorities finally were able to implement a pit maneuver to stop that driver. Well, the driver resisted arrest and attempted to smoke what was suspected to be fentanyl. He was treated at a local hospital and has now been booked into the Benton County Jail. 5:03, two teens now behind bars, another in the hospital after a fiery crash. Here's what we know. Officials telling us that just after midnight yesterday, a Kittitas County deputy saw a car on East University Way near Chestnut Street without its lights on. When that deputy tried to pull that car over, it crashed into a pole and burst into flames. Officials say two teen boys took off running. A 15-year-old girl was still inside that car and was injured. She was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Now, with the help of a drone and the Ellensburg police, officials were able to find those two boys. Now, police say some further investigation showed that the car was stolen, and they've booked those boys, a 15 and 16-year-old, into the Yakima Juvenile Corrections Facility, where they're facing a number of charges, including theft of a motor vehicle. And Milton Freewater Police released some details about a recent shooting. Here's what they're telling us. They say on April 2nd, around 7:30, officers responded to the area of 125 Northeast 2nd for reports of gunshots. Well, a 46-year-old woman allegedly fired these shots near the caller, 35-year-old Alan Davis. Police say the shots were fired near Alan, not directly at him. They say there weren't any injuries reported, but then on Friday, detectives took the woman into custody on charges of unlawful use of a weapon and disorderly conduct, and she is now currently sitting in the Umatilla County Jail.
In Oregon, a small plane skidded off the runway and landed in the water. And this happened at the Southwest Regional Airport in North Bend early yesterday morning. Officials say it was a private plane and came to rest in the water about 100 feet off the east end of the runway. This was just before 6:15 in the morning. And emergency crews, including the rescue and firefighter teams, secured the aircraft.
The pilot was able to take evasive action to avoid a critically important air navigational tool at the end of the runway. And that is one of the buildings that's just outside of the safety area.
All 4 passengers and 1 crew member were rescued and taken to the hospital, and we are working to learn more about their current conditions.
Speaking of planes, Boeing has settled 2 cases ahead of the first civil trial related to the deadly Boeing MAX 37 MAX crashes. It's all according to the law firm who's representing one of the passengers who died aboard Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302. That crash happened back in 2019. Well, the trial was scheduled to take place in a federal courthouse with jury selection slated to begin yesterday and is expected to last about 2 weeks. The focus of the case was on determining fair and reasonable compensation for the families of crash victims. Officials say the terms of the settlements are confidential.
Check this out now. It's a celebration a century in the making as Pasco marks a major milestone in aviation history.
Yeah, 100 years ago, the first commercial airmail flight took off in the U.S. right here in the Tri-Cities. And our Dan Hansen spoke with the Commercial Aviation Centennial Committee and shows us how they're honoring history by preparing for takeoff once again.
The Commercial Aviation Committee is officially clearing the runway for a full year of celebration.
100 years ago, or almost 99 years ago, an intrepid gentleman by the name of Walter Varney decided Pasco would be a good place to have his airline support the newly awarded bids for carrying mail.
That intrepid gentleman was Walter Varney, founder of Varney Airlines. He won the contract to fly airmail on a CAM Route 5. The first official flight left Pasco with over 200 pounds of mail, including gifts for the Postmaster General and President Calvin Coolidge. The original Pasco Airport sat just east of the railroad tracks, where Orion High School now stands. That first flight, piloted by Leon Cuddyback, made stops in Boise and ended in Elko, Nevada. The route helped prove aviation could be profitable and viable.
It was a way for private companies to earn a living and make aviation commercially viable.
And it worked. Varney Airlines grew, merged, and evolved, eventually helping form what we now know as United Airlines. But the roots of that global company trace back to Pasco.
That cowboy spirit, that really old west. I mean, and that's what founded Pasco. You know, we got the railways that brought us here, and then we launched commercial aviation out of here. I mean, what an exciting place to be. And again, for me, I look forward to, okay, how do we continue that spirit for our kids and our kids' kids so that we have the next thing launching out of Pasco?
And for Nathan Hall, a commercial pilot and committee chair for the Centennial Celebration, it's a legacy that even he didn't realize was so significant.
I saw even displays at the U.S. Postal Service Museum in Washington, D.C., and it mentioned Pasco, Washington, and that's where I got an idea of how significant this event was.
Now Hall and the Centennial Committee are preparing a full year of events to celebrate, from historical exhibits to interactive displays showcasing aviation's growth through the decades. It's a way to honor the past while inspiring the future. To learn more about the historic flight, visit the Pasco Aviation Museum as they have an exhibit specifically on this flight. Reporting in Pasco, Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
All right, thanks for that report, Dan. And check this out. Prosser Memorial Health announcing it's acquiring the Da Vinci 5 robotic surgical system. And you want to know what that is? Well, officials say it is the most advanced robotic technology available in modern healthcare. It's the latest generation of surgical robots offering enhanced precision control and flexibility for minimally invasive procedures. It makes Prosper Memorial Health the only healthcare facility in central and eastern Washington to offer the Da Vinci 5. Officials say the robotic system will be utilized in a variety of specialties, including general surgery, gynecology, urology, and other treatments. Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, we're talking taxes as the deadline to file fast approaches. If you haven't filed them yet, we do have some tips for you, and we're going to go over those coming up after the break.
First, Josh Colbert will have your first alert weather forecast. He'll have how it's looking today and have more on how the week is looking later on in the newscast. Keep it here. We will be right back.
We have a very special bond, I think, as a family. Spectrum is the connecting thread to everything we do.
It provides us with reliability, lightning speeds, and allows us to do what we need to do in our lives.
From school to homework to entertainment, Spectrum's the perfect match for me and my family.
Fast, reliable internet starting at $30 a month, backed by the Spectrum commitment to keep you connected.
What makes NIU unique? The amazing customer service that we offer to our patients. They know that they're heard, that they're listened to, and we genuinely care about their well-being.
From the second I walked in that office, I felt seen, I felt heard, I didn't feel judged. It just was like, we're a team and we're gonna figure this out.
I had a rare form of breast cancer. Dr. Fedino has just been fantastic. She was really just on my side and helping me, and I'm so relieved and blessed that I went there.
I'm nowhere near diabetic, and I feel amazing. And I lost 55 pounds, and I've been able to keep it off.
She had saved my life because if she hadn't taken just that moment to ask me one extra question, I absolutely would have had an ugly cancer 6 months later.
Go to NewUWomen'sClinic.com to explore the countless ways that wellness meets beauty.
It's not easy being Mariano Morales' horse. He needs to ride the clients all the time. He does take care of them. He gets the insurance company to pay for medical bills, car repairs, even money for pain and suffering. Looks like it's going to be another busy day. Better get warmed up. After all, I am his best friend.
Hurt in a car wreck? Give me a call.
Big or small, we work them all.
I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the heavy hitter.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
Individuals, couples, and families. You could get a refund of up to $1,290 back on taxes paid last year, as well as refunds for 2023 and 2022. Learn more at workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
It was a stunning true crime.
She was so excited.
And then
Molly's body was found
wearing her engagement ring.
If there's one piece of smoking gun evidence, it's not a gun, it's a cell phone.
Bad Romance, tonight on ABC.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by the Manthei Group Cross Country Mortgage.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a temperature tour this morning, starting off in Kittitas County. These temperatures down around freezing for Ellensburg, Cle Elum, and for Snoqualmie Pass, a little bit warmer than that in Vantage as we're in the low 40s. In the Yakima Valley, we're seeing temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s, right at 40 for Toppenish and Grandview, 38 degrees in Yakima. Then for the lower Columbia Basin, mostly in the 40s, the lone exception being Connell in the upper 30s, but 45 for the Tri-Cities, 40 for Boardman. And then in the Blue Foothills, a mixture of mid-30s to mid-40s, mostly down into the mid-30s in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Here's your day planner for today. For lower elevations, we'll have a chance of showers and thunderstorms once again as we head into this afternoon. The best chances are really going to be in the foothills, but there will be decent chances in the basin and valleys as well. So for today, showers and thunderstorms likely across the map. Once again, we'll have winds gusting out of the south and west between 20 to 45 miles per hour. The fastest wind gusts being in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County and also in the Cascades. Pretty seasonal high temperatures for early April. And then for tonight, we will see this forecast really mirrors what we saw yesterday and last night. As for tonight, we'll have the potential for leftover showers and thunderstorms mostly in the foothills and in the mountains, and the winds still gusting out of the south and west, but they're going to be much calmer after 8 p.m. So I'll time out everything with Futurecast, and I'll show you another storm system we're tracking as we head into Friday and Saturday. That one not looking as impressive, but all that's coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 5:14 in your national headlines. People have a week from today to file your taxes. And if you haven't started the process yet, experts say now is a good time to begin so you don't face any penalties for not filing on time. In today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan has some last-minute tips to filing your taxes.
Time is running out to file your 2024 taxes on time. You have until 11:59 p.m. in your time zone on April 15th to send your federal taxes to the IRS. But experts say the sooner you start, the better, because it can take a lot of time to complete.
I've seen some people take up to 30 hours just because the understanding of the tax law is confusing.
Travis Belton is a tax accountant. He says you can file for an extension, but warns there may be fees.
There is a penalty for underpayments if you have an over an amount of $1,000 or more. It's called an underpayment penalty.
If you owe more taxes than you can afford, you can apply for a payment plan through the IRS's website. But the IRS recommends you pay as much as possible before doing that.
Installment agreements are usually supposed to be up to 18 months and can be spread out over time.
According to the IRS, the penalty to file late is 5% per month on the unpaid balance. But if you work with the IRS and pay at least some of what is owed, you can minimize the late payment penalties. Be warned, the interest rate is 7% per year.
It's encouraged to pay as soon as you can in order to avoid additional penalties and interest or consequences.
Filing your taxes will take longer for anyone who's had a life-changing event in 2024, like getting married or having a child. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
5:16 still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We'll check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. He'll have a look at how your week is shaping up weather-wise. That's coming up in his First Alert forecast, giving you that live look outside this morning from our Yakima Federal camera right here at the Apple Valley studio in Kennewick. It is 5:16 and we're back after the break.
For 60 years, Woods Nursery has been inspiring families to create beautiful, joyful gardens in our community. Spanning 5 acres, it's one of the largest nurseries in southeastern Washington, offering a vast selection of plants, trees, and flowers, all grown in the USA. Explore handcrafted ornamental pieces made by American artisans, and get expert guidance from 3 generations of the Wood family, dedicated to helping you design stunning landscapes. Visit us today and discover everything you need to bring your outdoor space to life.
Hi, I'm Rowdy with Total Energy Management. For 40 years, we've been keeping the Tri-Cities comfortable with top-notch heating and air conditioning services. We take pride in delivering exceptional service and unbeatable deals. Right now, you can save big with up to $4,900 in rebates and tax credits on a new Carrier heating and cooling system. So turn to the experts at Total Energy Management to ensure your house has the perfect temperature year-round. Visit TEMINC.com or call 946-4500 to learn more.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing. You pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
Attention former Hanford workers and contractors. You deserve the benefits and care you've earned. You may qualify for benefits including life-changing in-home health care. Join United Energy Workers Healthcare for a free Atomic Family Reunion at the Three Rivers Convention Center in Kennewick on Friday, April 11th. Reconnect, enjoy great food, and learn about exclusive benefits to help you live longer, better, and independently at home. RSVP by calling 509-286-2661 or visit uewhealth.com.
At US Cellular, we're celebrating our customers, like JP here. It's a special event. Us days.
Yeah, we get special rewards and exclusive deals, and it's only for US Cellular customers. It's like we got our own special club.
Should we show them?
Us days at U.S. Cellular. Right now, our customers can get $1,200 off any phone plus $500 off any tablet.
Kraken, Utah, tonight on Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and put today into motion with Futurecast. And this morning, it's mainly just going to be up in the Cascades, mostly snow at pass level. But then as we head into the late morning, that's when some of this starts to spread down into lower elevations. Into this afternoon, that's when we'll have widespread scattered showers and thunderstorms. And then for this evening, where we do have leftover showers and thunderstorms, it's mostly going to be in the foothills and up into the mountains. Then by the late evening, we'll just see the last gasp of the storm system. That'll give way to a pretty dry day on Wednesday. Here's some of the snowfall totals we're thinking over the next 24 hours. Not much doing at all for either mountain range. And then in terms of rainfall totals, maybe ½ inch of liquid water up in the Cascades, less than 1/10 of an inch for the foothills, for the basin, and for the valleys, and maybe around 1/4 inch of rainfall or liquid water up in the Blue Mountains. In terms of wind gusts, this is pretty much a carbon copy of yesterday's forecast, racing out of the south and west, upwards of 45 miles per hour in the Blue Foothills and up in the Cascades. The peak time frame is going to be from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Will be drier into Wednesday and Thursday. Then there's another storm system we're tracking for Friday and Saturday. This one not looking all that impressive, as we could maybe pick up another couple of inches for Cascade and Blue Mountain passes. Then in terms of rainfall from the storm system, not much doing at all for lower elevations. And the liquid water we could get, the liquid water equivalent of the snowfall in the Blue Mountains, maybe upwards of 0.2 inches. And that's about it. So not a very impressive storm system at all. High temperatures mostly either seasonal or above average, but you can see some fluctuations there. It looks like the warmest day is going to be on Thursday. The coolest day is going to be on Saturday. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Showers and storms likely today, then dry after that with fluctuating high temperatures. Breezes pick up on Friday and Saturday. In Yakima, a 50-50 chance of showers and storms today, then a dry forecast with a breezy stretch from Thursday through Sunday. In Ellensburg, rain and thunderstorms likely today, dry beyond that with winds becoming a big factor on Friday and Saturday. In Hermiston, showers and storms likely today, a dry forecast after that with up and down high temperatures. Then in Walla Walla, rain and thunderstorms likely today, dry Wednesday and Thursday, but small shower chances come back around Friday through Sunday. Now you're taking a live look at Yakima. This view coming courtesy of Bi-Mart. Thanks for waking up with Good Morning Northwest, where we're always on your side.
Join over 50 Walla Walla wineries this June to celebrate Walla Walla Valley Wine, the Valley's signature 3-day wine fest, happening June 19th through the 21st. Tickets are on sale now at wallawallawine.com.
Visit Fred's Appliance today and explore unbeatable deals on the largest selection of in-stock get-it-today inventory in the region. Upgrade your kitchen with the spacious LG refrigerator with its innovative cooling technology and generous storage capacity. Keep your food fresher for longer while enjoying the modern design that complements any kitchen decor. The Smart ThinQ technology allows you to control and diagnose your refrigerator from your smartphone. At Fred's, we sell appliances. Only appliances.
Hey Ham Fam! Easter is April 20th, and when your family gathers this season, spend less time in the kitchen and more time with your loved ones. At Honey Baked Ham, we have everything your gathering needs, starting with our fully cooked spiral cut ham, dripping with our famous mouth-watering glaze. Add a smoked or oven-roasted turkey breast, delicious sides and desserts. Your complete feast is waiting for you at Honey Baked Ham. Order online or give us a call. Honey Baked Ham, helping you make the most of your time with family.
Get ready for an amazing spring at Mid-Columbia Libraries. Join us for Dia del Niño y los Libros, a celebration of children and books, happening at multiple locations and dates. Don't miss Latin Grammy Award-winning Lucky Diaz and the Family Jam Band. Meet acclaimed author Sarah Beth Durst, April 17th. Find more event details and discover all our exciting spring programming at midcolumbialibraries.org. Mid-Columbia Libraries, where stories and community come together.
Yakima Federal Savings and Loan was founded in 1905 and has kept your money safe and sound for 120 years. Your deposits at YakFed help people buy homes and build strong communities. We believe in giving back, proudly supporting local events and organizations that make a difference where we all live and work. With 10 local branch locations, we're committed to our communities and keeping your money secure. Experience the difference. Call, click, or come by and make the switch today.
Join over 50 Walla Walla wineries this June to celebrate Walla Walla Valley Wine, the Valley's signature 3-day wine fest, happening June 19th through the 21st. Tickets are on sale now at wallawallawine.com.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In today's entertainment news, we're getting a sneak peek of a music icon's documentary.
Plus, an eco-adventure that's making those who are creating environmental change the stars.
Plus, Sia's unstoppable performance at the Oscars of Science. So here's David Daniel with all of that in today's Hollywood Minute.
This year's Tribeca Film Festival is kicking off with a hometown hero. The premiere of the documentary Billy Joel and So It Goes is set to launch this year's festival June 4th at New York's Beacon Theater.
I can't believe I'm getting to be part of this project that's helping to reduce the carbon footprint in the entire world. All right, let's dive in.
The Visioneers with Zay Harding showcases scientists, engineers, and everyday people creating environmental solutions. The Eco-Adventure series starring the International Explorer airs weekend mornings on CBS stations and streams on Paramount+. Sia's performance of her hit Unstoppable capped a memorable evening at the 2025 Breakthrough Prizes. The Oscars of Science handed out nearly $19 million in awards, honoring discoveries and achievements in life sciences, fundamental physics, mathematics, and other fields. Hollywood stars, along with tech and business leaders, turned out at a gala ceremony in Los Angeles to salute the stars of science. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, lots going on there. Sia is an incredible talent. We'll just start there.
How her hair looks is me when I'm going out in public and I'm trying and I don't have makeup on. I'm just like
all the hair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cover me up.
Yeah. All right. More entertainment news this morning. Madonna and Elton John. If you didn't know it, they've been in quite a feud, and now they've made amends after years-long notorious fight.
I had no idea. Did you know about this?
I didn't know they were.
Josh,
I didn't know they were beefing. Did you?
This is news to me.
There you go.
Well, the Vogue singer posted to Instagram yesterday sharing that she went to watch John perform on SNL over the weekend, and she later shared a picture posing with him as proof that the pair are now friends, saying they've buried the hatchet.
The two have publicly traded barbs since 2004, and it stemmed from a comment John made where he accused Madonna of lip syncing.
Oh. Everybody was accused of lip syncing back into the 2000s.
And everyone has.
And everyone has. Yeah, especially when you're dancing around.
Yeah. So Madonna now says that the feud hurt knowing that someone she admired disliked her as an artist, but she says once they met backstage, he asked for forgiveness. I don't think that meant
ends well.
He didn't like her as an artist.
Yeah.
I think she got a little spun out.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's dramatic.
But all is well in the world between Elton and Madonna. You can rest easy tonight.
We're so happy knowing that now.
Yeah. More ahead on Good Morning Northwest still this morning. This week is National Library Week, and today is actually National Library Workers Day.
And speaking of library workers, we hear from one Mid-Columbia Library employee who tells us what they're challenging the community to do this week. Those details are coming up in your next half hour, but first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, scam detection via Google's Pixel Watch. Owners of the Pixel Watch 2 or 3 that have paired it to a Pixel 9 can be alerted to a scam call without needing to check their phones. To get the alerts, make sure the warnings are enabled on the phone. Fujifilm just unveiled its latest instant camera, the Instax Mini 41. Updates include an improved close-up mode to take better selfies, and it's supposed to be easier to use with an ergonomic grip and an automatic exposure function. It comes out later this month, but the price tag is still a mystery. Finally, new Google TV remotes are getting a free TV or live TV shortcut button. It's meant to give Google TV viewers easier access to free ad-supported live TV options. Google reportedly isn't sharing how big or where on the remote the button will be. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Rhiannon Alley. Have a great day.
Let me see my new granddog.
Say hi, Grandma.
You're feeding him Blue Buffalo, right?
No, we got Purina One. It's all the same stuff.
Not really. Blue Life Protection Formula's got deboned chicken, chicken meal, brown rice, oatmeal, barley.
Well, Purina One has chicken, rice flour, corn gluten meal, whole grain corn, chicken byproduct meal.
Looks like we're switching to Blue.
Switch to Blue and feed your dog like family.
Always dry scoop before you run.
Listen to me. A hot dog diet got me shredded.
It's time we listen to science. One A Day is formulated with key nutrients to support whole body health. One A Day, science that matters.
Can a can of Lysol take care of my snotty sofa?
Can do.
Mildewy tiles?
Can do.
These?
Yep, it's the Can Do can. Nothing kills more germs on more surfaces than Lysol disinfectant spray. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us. Joining us here for Good Morning Northwest, I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, we are getting up there with the jackpot. It's at 200, is it?
It's
No?
now up to $175. So we got it right
close.
yesterday. Yes, let's go ahead
Okay.
and take a look at, again, our 3-degree guarantee, sponsored by our friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. Yesterday, I went with a forecast high of 67 in Pasco Tri-Cities, and it verified at 68. So the jackpot went up to $175. So for today, here are the stakes. I'm going with a forecast high of 65. If it verifies between 62 to 68, the jackpot's going to go up to $200. Now, if that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you can scan the QR code that's on your screen. Now what's on your screen is First Alert Radar. We continue to track some snow showers up in the Cascades. It looks like a little bit of a dry spell for now, but this is going to pick back up a little bit later this morning. Winds gusting out of the south and west between 25 to 30 miles per hour right now for US 97 and for US Highway 12. These winds going to become much more widespread a little bit later today. Right now, temperatures around freezing in the Kittitas Valley, so that's the only lower elevation area that might have to contend with a little bit of frost. We're in the 30s and 40s, just too warm for that for the rest of our lower elevation spots, but also pretty close to freezing in the Blue Mountains and up in the Cascades, so that's where it could also be a little bit frosty to start off this morning. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities. Highs getting up into the 60s. We'll have that chance for showers and thunderstorms mainly after lunchtime, and that'll continue as we head into the mid-evening. So for today, seasonal high temperatures, showers and thunderstorms likely across the map, and I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Starting off your half hour in Yakima, 2 residential care centers, Yakima Valley School and Rainier School, located both in Sela and Buckley, are at risk for closing with House Bill 1472. Yakima Valley School has 35 permanent residents and Rainier has 72, and they both house people with severe developmental and intellectual disabilities, and these facilities provide round-the-clock care with medical professionals who are now at risk for losing their positions. But one employee says their concern remains with the residents and shares a perspective for those who may support the closures.
What if this was your family member and they were taken from the only home they've ever known? There's not enough places for these residents and people to know how to care for the needs that they have.
Now on Thursday, there will be rallies to save Yakima Valley School and Rainier School, and this comes as an executive session for House Bill 1472 is scheduled in the House Committee on Appropriations for today at 1:30 p.m.
Also in Yakima, we have an update on a cold case from 1988. Investigators are working to identify a body that was found by the Parker Dam near Parker in Yakima County. Officials say they don't know the cause of the death, but it is presumed to be a homicide. They were able to get some DNA from the skeleton, and just determined that it is not the body of missing person Karen Louise John Lee Wallahy. Wallahy went missing a year before in 1987. Now investigators are asking for your help. If you have any idea on who this could be, you're asked to call the Yakima County Coroner's Office. 534 news out of Oregon this morning. The Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation recently received a grant to help ensure children on the reservation become proficient readers as they enter school. So important. The tribe got $150,000 from the Meyer Memorial Trust. It's a private fund committed to racial, social, and economic justice in Oregon. The money will help develop and implement culturally relevant and age-appropriate reading materials for children. Officials hope to start up new programs in mid-April, with the grant ending May 2026. And the Pit Bull Pen, a rescue organization in Tri-Cities, needs your help to find out what's wrong with a dog named Maple. The normally happy rescue dog started having random seizures. Right now, Maple is taking 3 different anti-seizure medications, but the seizures just won't stop. Their vets say they've done all they can, but now Maple needs a specialized neurologist for an MRI, and they need to take him to WSU to get that help to find the root of the problem and figure out what the best path forward for her care is. The rescue organization's now using GoFundMe to ask for help raising the $3,500 they need to get Maple that MRI. And this week is National Library Week, an annual celebration highlighting the valuable role libraries, librarians, and library workers all play in transforming the lives and strengthening our communities. The Mid-Columbia Library locations have a busy week ahead. Yesterday was Right to Read Day. Today is National Library Workers Day, and Wednesday is National Library Outreach Day, a day dedicated to library professionals. And then Thursday, April 10th, it's Take Action for Libraries Day.
Well, we've actually got something really cool going right now to go in concert with the National Library Week, which is our checkout challenge. So for the first time, we're asking everybody to help us beat our checkouts with 45,000 checkouts for the week. And we're off to a really strong start yesterday. And so if you want to come in and check out a book, and you can see on social media what the results are of that challenge, or stop by a branch and ask us where we're at.
And Mid-Columbia Libraries has 12 branches and services more than 260,000 residents of Benton, Franklin, and parts of Adams counties. So take part in that challenge and read romantasy books so that we can talk about it. Hey, coming up next here on Good Morning Northwest, a bill which aims to ban flavored tobacco products in Washington is making progress. And we have the details from the state capitol, plus another look at your forecast right after the break.
Kraken, Utah, tonight on Apple Valley News Now.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing, you pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
Got a birthday coming up, celebrating a big win, or just want to gather the crew for a pizza and a good time? For decades, Hubby's Pizza has been the go-to spot for family, friends, and fun. Reserve your table and bring the whole gang. Kids, family, teammates, whoever loves great pizza and good vibes. Dig into your favorite pizza, hit up the fresh salad bar, and let the kids have a blast in the arcade. And if the party's at your place, no problem. Hubby's now delivers through Grubhub and DoorDash. A community tradition, a place to celebrate. Acquire the Hubby's habit today.
Walla Walla Sweets Baseball has been a beacon of our community's spirit for 14 seasons. But behind every swing and every catch lies the question, where do our players call home during the season? The answer is simple. With you, our incredible host families. It's more than just housing a player. It's about becoming part of their journey. Watching our boys chase their dreams is incredibly rewarding. Become a host family and be part of something bigger than the game. Together, we are Walla Walla Sweets.
And Consumer Reports.
We're testers.
This organization accepts no advertising or sponsorship.
Since 1936.
Testing dishwashers, TVs, cars, vacuums.
We buy directly from stores, just like you.
Making sure products are safe.
And that they last.
Because we're advocates.
Engineers and scientists. We're testers. We're Consumer Reports.
Join us.
The Inland Northwest is a vibrant community, rich in tradition and pride. And Culligan has a long history of providing custom solutions to address the area's water worries, like nitrates, bacteria, and PFAS. Culligan, water you love since 1936.
Come discover our hand-picked collections at D-Lynn's Boutique. Whether you're shopping for a cozy weekend getaway or a special night out, D-Lynn's Boutique has everything you need to shine this winter. Visit us in-store or online and let us help you wrap the season in style.
It was a stunning true crime.
She was so excited.
And then
Molly's body was found
wearing her engagement ring.
If there's one piece of smoking gun evidence, it's not a gun, it's a cell phone.
Bad Romance, tonight on ABC.
This week on GMA, it's a star-studded lineup that'll have you
begging for more.
With Anthony, Marseille, Ramon, Bryce, and of course, Cheryl.
Ooh, what a morning.
This week, live on
Good Morning America.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's take a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. We start off in Kittitas County. By the way, across the map for today's showers and thunderstorms are going to be likely. Winds gusting out of the south and west upwards of 45 miles per hour. Some of those strongest wind gusts being up in the Cascades as opposed to the Kittitas Valley. These highs going to span from the mid-40s up towards Snoqualmie Pass into the low 60s down towards Vantage. In the Yakima Valley, we're all going to be within a degree or two of 60 degrees. These winds also out of the south and west around 35 miles per hour. Out of the south and west around 40 miles per hour for the basin. These highs in the low to mid 60s will be around 65 for the Tri-Cities and for Umatilla. And then for the Blue Foothills, these highs also around 60, maybe some of us like Milton, Freewater, Pendleton a little bit closer to 65. The winds also out of the south and west around 45 miles per hour. Some of the strongest wind gusts being in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. Okay, now let's talk about the big picture, our snowfall surpluses and deficits that we're tracking for this time of the year in all of our major basins. And you can see one of these is certainly not like the rest. The upper Yakima Basin really suffering right now as there's a 25% snowfall deficit, but we do have some decent surpluses for our Blue Mountain basins, especially for the Umatilla Basin, and we're just barely breaking even right now in the Natchez Basin. We do have a little bit more snowfall on the way. It's not much, but it's some, and every little bit helps. So I'll tell you how much we're expecting coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thank you. 5:42 now. And efforts to ban flavored tobacco products here in Washington got a breath of life with a bill getting a committee hearing just yesterday after the effort was previously assumed dead. Albert James shows us how new legislation is gearing to bring in more money to the state and why opponents believe that the ban could hurt efforts to reduce tobacco use.
These products don't contribute to the social well-being of our communities. They definitely don't contribute to the health and well-being of our children.
Democrat Christine Reeves of King County is prime sponsor of House Bill 2068, which would ban the sale of flavored tobacco products like vapes and menthol cigarettes. Reeves pushed similar restrictions in another bill this session, which failed to advance, though this proposal goes a step further and increases taxes and fees around manufacturing, selling, and buying tobacco products, including a $2 increase in the tax on a pack of cigarettes, adjusted to inflation every 3 years. Reeves says the increased taxes backfills lost revenues from flavored products being off the market, while also funding efforts to get people away from the dangers of tobacco.
The intent is really to ensure that we are getting at consumer education, that we're focusing on how we address youth prevention and adult cessation, and that we hopefully address some of the enforcement needs of the Liquor and Cannabis Board to be able to address this uptick.
A handful of high school students testified in support of the legislation. They say teens are targeted by vapes' fruity flavors, contests, and other marketing ploys, with the resulting addiction getting in the way of kids learning, playing, and living healthy lives.
Flavored tobacco pulls teens in. It smells like candy, looks like candy, and it feels harmless, but it's not. And I've seen students at my school, classmates, friends, get hooked before they even realize what's happening.
Opponents argue flavored vape products are a less harmful alternative to traditional cigarettes, and adults should have access to them. They say youth use of tobacco has declined in recent years, with store clerks being responsible in keeping products away from kids.
We are the first line of defense, and our efforts are working. The current system of licensed retailers, strong minimum age laws, and government oversight is working.
Retail groups also argue the ban would cause a drop in revenue for businesses and force some to close their doors. They believe a ban would push the tobacco market underground and potentially cause more harm.
Increasing taxes doesn't necessarily limit or reduce people who are trying to access tobacco or encourage cessation. Instead, it actually just forces them to purchase from an unregulated or illicit market.
There's a deadline Tuesday for legislation to move forward, but a spokesperson for the House Finance Committee chair says generally bills with taxes are not subject to that cutoff. In Olympia, I'm Albert James reporting.
5:44 still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We have your morning sprint and everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning, giving you that live look outside from our Legends Casino and Hotel Skycam at Richland's Columbia Point, overlooking the mighty Columbia there at Howard Avon Park. When we come back, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your full first alert forecast. 5:45, we're back after the break.
You've probably had a few close calls in traffic, seeing someone just before they see you, having to honk your horn, or even slam on your brakes. But if your luck runs out, don't gamble with the system. Play it safe and get legal help.
Looking for the perfect spot to relax? Welcome to Hoops, your new favorite restaurant and bar, where the vibe is clean, the food is delicious, and the staff always friendly. Whether you're in for a night of trivia, around a pool, darts, dancing, pull tabs, or karaoke, Hoops has it all. Great food, great people, Hoops, where every night is a great experience. Hoops Bar. Stop by today for your next great night out.
Let's go for a walk. Let's go for a ride. Whether you're shaping up a small yard or taking on serious acreage, let's go the distance. Shop in store and online for 0% financing and instant rebates on select Steel mowers. Steel. Let's go mow.
Liberty. Liberty Mutual is all she talks about since we saved hundreds by bundling our home and auto insurance. Liberty.
Hey, kid. It's pronounced Bibberty.
Liberty.
Bibberty.
Liberty.
Bibberty.
Liberty.
Bibberty.
Liberty.
Now she's mocking me. Very mature.
Hey, that's enough, you two.
Hey, I'm not the one acting like a total baby.
She's two.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, liberty, liberty. Liberty.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
Closed head and spinal injuries can bring anyone's active life to a sudden halt. Allen Brecky Law Offices help trauma victims on the road to recovery. We understand what you're going through and are serious about helping you.
Stacy Lee, Capkey View First Alert Weather. Watch tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and put the rest of today in motion with Futurecast this morning. We're mainly going to see rounds of rain and snow up in the Cascades, but by the late morning, this is going to start to spread down into the valleys, and then into the afternoon, it's going to be widespread showers and thunderstorms by this evening, especially into the mid to late evening, where we have lingering showers and thunderstorms. It's going to be in the foothills, in the Blues, and also in the Cascades. After that, we'll see the last gasp of this round, and will turn mostly dry, in fact completely dry for Wednesday, but then we're tracking more storm systems as we head into Friday and Saturday. More on that in a second. First, here's some of the snowfall totals we're thinking over the next 24 hours. Not much doing at all, but in terms of liquid water, rainfall or melted snowfall, we're thinking half an inch up in the Cascades, less than 1/10 of an inch for the valleys, basin and foothills, and around 1/4 of an inch in the Blue Mountains. Wind's going to be a big factor for today, gusting out of the south and west, just like with yesterday, upwards of 45 miles per hour. The strongest winds being in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County, also up in the Cascades. That peak time frame is going to be today from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Again, like I mentioned, mostly dry for Wednesday and Thursday, and then we'll see another storm system in a Friday and Saturday. This one not looking that impressive at all, as the snowfall totals we could see during this time frame, maybe a couple of inches for a Cascade or Blue Mountain passes. And then in terms of rainfall or melted snowfall, not much doing for most of our region, maybe upwards of 0.2 inches for the Blue Mountains. So again, I think you get the gist. That Friday, Saturday storm system, nothing to write home about. High temperature is going to fluctuate, kind of a roller coaster over the next 7 days. Looks like the peak is going to be on Thursday with highs getting into the low 70s in the Tri-Cities, and the valley is going to be on Saturday as we'll struggle to even make it out of the 50s. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Showers and storms likely today, then dry after that with fluctuating high temperatures. Breezes pick up on Friday and Saturday. In Yakima, a 50-50 chance of showers and storms today, then a dry forecast with a breezy stretch from Thursday through Sunday. In Ellensburg, rain and thunderstorms likely today, dry beyond that with winds becoming a big factor on Friday and Saturday. In Hermiston, showers and storms likely today, a dry forecast after that with up and down high temperatures. Then for Walla Walla, rain and storms likely today, dry Wednesday and Thursday, but small shower chances come back around Friday through Sunday.
Now, the morning sprint.
5:50, time for your morning sprint and the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. The community came together to mourn the loss of Josier Sanchez. That's the motorcyclist who was killed after a crash involving Washington State Patrol Trooper Sarah Clayson. A memorial ride brought a large crowd out to the new Vintage Church, Tri-Cities. They made several stops throughout the area, even making a stop at the scene of the crash in Richland. Organizers planted a cross in his memory and flowers were planted by his family. The family's in the process of making funeral arrangements, and they say more details will be shared in the coming days.
Japanese beetle treatments on public properties like parks start this week in South Central Washington, and there have been recent detections in Pasco, Sunnyside, and Wapato. Residential treatments will start next week, and officials say it's not too late to sign up for free treatments, and you can do so on the Washington Department of Agriculture's website.
Well, 2 residential care facilities in Washington are at risk of closing if House Bill 1472 passes. One of those centers is in the Yakima Valley School in Sela. The other is the Rainier School in Buckley. Now, these facilities serve people with developmental disabilities. HB 1472 is scheduled in the House Committee on Appropriations for today at 1:30. Rallies are being held to save the centers on Thursday.
A small plane skidded off the runway and landed in the water at the Southwest Regional Airport in North Bend yesterday. Officials say it was a private plane and came to rest in the water about 100 feet off the east end of the runway. Emergency crews, including the rescue and firefighter teams, secured the aircraft. All 4 passengers and 1 crew member were rescued and taken to the hospital.
Prosper Memorial Health now has the Da Vinci 5 robotic surgical system. It's making them the first healthcare facility in central and eastern Washington to have it, and it's said to be one of the most advanced robotic technologies available in modern healthcare and will enhance precision control, flexibility for minimally invasive procedures. And officials say the system will be utilized in a number of specialties like general surgery, gynecology, urology, and other specialties.
International headlines this morning. The Supreme Court is allowing deportations to proceed under the Alien Enemies Act for now, but there are stipulations. The ruling throws out a U.S. District Judge's order, and the High Court saying the men involved in the case can challenge the use of the Alien Enemies Act. They just have to do so in the district where they are detained. And this comes after ICE sent alleged Venezuelan gang members to an El Salvador prison while legal challenges were still playing out.
In your health headlines this morning, U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr. was just in Utah supporting its state's new law banning fluoride from public water. Kennedy said he's encouraging other states to follow Utah's lead. Utah is the first state to ban fluoridation of public water systems. Also, speaking of fluoride, the HHS says it's convening a task force to study it, with Kennedy saying he plans to direct the CDC to stop recommending the mineral to be added to water that can fight tooth decay, as he claims adding fluoride to water can have adverse effects on cognition. Many dentists have opposed Utah's fluoride bill. They say the mineral is critical for cavity prevention for children in low-income communities.
In your business headlines, President Trump's tariffs are making Apple reconsider how it does business. According to the Wall Street Journal, the company plans to send more iPhones to the United States from India, as this would help Apple avoid the higher tariffs on China. Right now, China has been hit with a 54% rate, while India's goods are lower at 26%. Apple will make about 25 million iPhones in India this year, and about 15 million would be for U.S. customers. But even if this change occurs, producing phones in India would only meet about 50% of U.S. demand for the device this year.
All right, talking sports this morning. Tonight, the Kraken in Salt Lake City for a final meeting this season with the Utah Hockey Club. Pregame starts at 5:30 right here on Apple Valley News Now. So because of this live sports event, ABC's Will Trent, which usually runs at 8 on Tuesdays, will be seen this week on Saturday afternoon at 4 right here on Apple Valley News Now.
Trending this morning, a Galapagos tortoise at the Philadelphia Zoo just became a first-time mom and made history in the process. Aww.
Congratulations to her. According to the zoo, Mommy is, holy moly, estimated to be around, I thought I was old for having babies.
Old. My knees are feeling it.
This mommy is estimated to be around 100 years old. That makes her the oldest first-time mom of her species.
Well, so far there are 4 hatchlings. The first one emerged in late February, and zoo officials are monitoring the rest of the eggs in case there are additional hatchlings in the coming weeks. Hopefully it turns out better than that Pip situation with the eagle from a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Tough.
The zoo says the 4 are believed to be female, and they'll make their public debut later this month. And the hatchling's dad is a Bronzo, who is also estimated to be about a century old. And I just think of him in Finding Nemo, because he's like 100. He's like, I'm 100, dude.
Yeah.
Squirt, you so totally rock. Yeah, great.
Yeah, yeah. It keeps them fresh, you know. Keeps them acting young.
Yeah.
I
You
love
gotta
it.
do
Oh, congratulations. Age is just a number, right?
It is.
Doesn't even matter.
Tell my knee that.
Yeah, I'm telling my whole self that. All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. 2 residential care facilities in Washington, one in Yakima County, at risk of closing if a House bill passes. Coming up at 6, we have more details on what that bill is and what it's attempting to do.
Plus, a new documentary about John Lennon and Yoko Ono is heading to theaters this week, and we have a sneak peek at what to expect. Also, Josh, what are you tracking?
Yeah, we have some chances for showers and thunderstorms for today. It doesn't look like we're going to get a whole lot of rain or snow, but I'll tell you more about it coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.